Greetings and welcome back to our CK3 Legacy of Valyria Game of Thrones series. So, last time we created a character. This time I recreated the character. Why? Because I added some more mods. And by that I mean I added like one more mod. So just as a quick recap, just the main mods for this that aren't like, you know, some mods that I always have that make this more of a Valyrian playthrough is obviously Game of Thrones. We have the Legacy of Valyria, we have the Legacy of Valyria Cities of Wonders and the compatches for that and everything. Ancient Birthright and that compatch, which adds, you know, all those faiths and everything like that. Also adds a Blood Mage, which, as far as I know, you could, from what I asked, you can only learn it from a Blood Mage or, I'm just curious, is there a Blood Mage? Blood Mage. Alright. So there is a Blood Mage that we can learn from, or we can add it in. Too far away to interact, but I'm gonna pin them as special interest just in case. You never know. And also, the newest one I added was Secrets of Higher Mysteries. Now that adds a whole lot more magic stuff. What that all entails, I'm not entirely sure. See, we got Magi drop gains, so once we start earning magical stuff, whether or not we do, we'll see. And I'll post the whole like mod list in the description if you guys want to check that out. But one more preamble before we actually get in back to creating here. Obviously the new expansion's coming out like next week, and that's gonna mess up, you know, a whole lot of things. But as far as I know, Game of Thrones is gonna be updated relatively quickly, and the Legacy of Valyria creator will said they're gonna update after the China expansion, basically. And then when that gets updated, Higher Mystery should be updated as well. Ancient Birthrights, I believe, will be updated. Not that I don't think they need to be. Ancient Birthrights will need to be updated as much, but we'll see. But yeah, and then we're gonna be doing, you know, checking out that as a showcase, see what series, because I know I did post a poll for our secondary CK3 series, and I think Elder Kings was winning last time I checked now. But that might be postponed because, like I said, I want to do a little showcase with. Come on, I want to play China, Japan, Korea. That sounds fun. Seeing all the new stuff there that's added got me kind of excited for it. So, all right. With that said, let's recreate COW-AGOT. Also, before we do anything else, as you can see, I added two more traits here: Enduring and Magic Titan. Like I said, we're making this dude like OP as all get out. He's the savior, the messiah of Valyria, we'll say. So Enduring, life expectancy plus 100 years. I don't know if we'd be able to actually get that without adding a character. So that's why I gave it to us. Plus, you know, having, you know, someone be long-lived is always fun. I know, it's overdone, especially for us, but that's my preferred playstyle. I like playing as a character, getting to know them. Other than that, so we'll just go right through. We have a Dragon Rider, which will turn into an egg. Born amongst the flames here. Born in the Obsidian Chambers, one of the last remaining Valyrian volcanoes. High nobility, genius, Herculean, pure-blooded. Visage of Dawn's beauty. And COW-AGOT's hypnotic grace exudes a divine aura that demands attention from all who gaze upon him. Enduring, time does not seem to pass for this character. They look immune to the passage of years, so we'll just chalk that up to the last of Valyria's magic just swelling into us. Hence why we're also a Magic Titan. You are a Titan of magic capability. Now that doesn't mean anything until we actually become a mage, and that we can't do that until we're an adult, because you gotta go travel and do things like that. So other than that, and then Heterochromia Valyrian Steel Customizer. So let's just finish this. Select Heterochromia cover. New Blade of Legend, we'll have to redo that. New Dragon Rider, we'll have to redo that once. My mouse is dying on me. Gonna have to get a new one soon. Still don't know what birthplace means, but thanks, I will do that. The birthplace. All right, so now we can choose. Now, if you can't tell, I did actually make our normal default eyes instead of like Valyrian purple. They're like pure like white. They're like ice. So we could make it gold. I wish I could actually just, you know, zoom in. Could do red. Gold was what I preferred. You know what? Let's do red eyes. I've made and confirmed my choice. And the trait mismatched eyes. Set birthplace. Set birthplace to Oros. I wonder if we could zoom in and see. Oh yeah, see, we got like our pale eye there and then red eyes. Our eyes are red from the ash and everything as the doom wailed upon us. And just as an aside, obviously this is Valyria as it's told, the actual Valyria. Actually, no, we'll take a look at that after we do things. I just was like curious on this city here, since we'll be focusing more on the mainland, as it were, before we delve into Valyria itself. All right, custom strong seed. Yes. Hair. No strong seed. Silver gold. Cool neutral, neutral silver, silver blonde, silver gold. I think we did black hair, gold hair, bronze hair, because we were doing as if the doom cursed us as well. We got blessed and cursed. If we could actually have the custom nickname, I would, but I think that right now it's not compatible. Well, yeah, we're Valyrian, but un-Valyrian, that red eye. Mostly because, man, just having some red eyes is actually cool. Brings me back to my old... Alright. Obviously, it changed for us on this. I can... Dark Star. Just because we changed it. Yeah. So, and then height, we wanted to be small, tall. Ears. No strong suit for the ears, and then gold eyes, blue eyes, midnight eyes. Actually, black hair and gold eyes actually sounds pretty cool. We could do the purple eyes, but no, I think black hair and gold eyes, yes. All right, finished with that. All right, next, Blade of Legend. Last time I chose Unkindness, but I kind of want to do that for our future North playthrough, I think. Not that we couldn't, you know, copy and stuff, but... 9. This has always been my preferred look to it. It actually looks like a sword I actually own. If anyone wants to know, that's the Raptor sword. Like, look up Cult of Athena Raptor sword. That's what I own there. Glory skin peeler. So I'm thinking we'll change it to this simple Stormy Night. Could do Dragonbane as well. All right, we're gonna change it and take the Dragonbane one. Gives it the more, you know, Valyrian feel. Still gonna name it Rapture. I think actually if we become a mage, we'll be able to actually change what it looks like. So there is that. All right. Now we have that equipped. I still don't think we'll be able to actually see it in our barbershop, mostly because we're a child, but also because I think I have slightly too many submods or mods, and it won't. I've gotten the glitch where it doesn't show any of the items. Yeah, see. Obviously, since we're a child, I don't think it would have showed up anyway, but yeah. Shame, but oh well. So what does I did just look at it, but what does Rapture do? Monthly martial lifestyle. Okay, that's the bonus there. It's not bad. All right, and then a new dragon. I only have an egg, and we chose the obsidian. Although the magma does make sense, obsidian. Bloodstone is what we had last time. Cinder. Sunburst. Bronze. Flame. Orange. Serpentine. Serpentine egg looks pretty cool. Wildfire. Ice and Fire Dragon Egg. Magenta, Pink, Primrose, Rainbow. Black, Slate, Gray. Alright, obsidian. And there we go. So, with that, I suppose we just kind of take a look around geographical, see what we can do. So obviously everything is wilderness. Can't do anything. We could colonize if we have cash, but obviously we don't have anything since we're 1 year old and the last of our house, and the doom just happened. So we're gonna cradle our dragon egg. I wonder if we'll get a nickname. Like, we kept getting Goldeneye for the Goldeneye one, but who knows? Actually, this is the place I was actually looking at. Ruins. So what is this? The province of Oreos. Probably not how you pronounce it, but abandoned Great Castle. Go crazy on. Okay. Access to the natural dragon pit. This county, holder of this. 4 level +4. This holding +16. Large size ruin. New duchy building. Okay. So right now, this has got to be, you know, our immediate goal. We want to unite the rest of it. So the difference between wilderness and ruins. Restore ruins. Need 430 gold. Colonize cattle. 230. Interesting. Okay. So I wonder what makes something a ruin and the rest are just like wilderness, you know? Oh, the world itself is dotted with ruins from Westeros to Essos, from Sothros to Ulthos. Man, I wish we could learn anything about Ulthos, but that's something that's never going to be expanded upon just for the mystery. Some are once great fortresses and castles, standing against enemies for thousands of years. Some are ancient beyond all reckoning, having been laid to ruin before the earliest records in Sigil or UT, such as Yin and Sothros or Stigai and Shadow. Claim a destroyed county and begin reconstruction. Go to the holding, restore ruins. Only men maddened by ambition and wanderlust or their lost heritage would dare to lay claim to to the more perilous runes, such as those born from the doom of Valyria. Oh boy. Okay. Interesting. Well, let's take a look at Valyria itself then. Valyria. Valyrios. Insignificant remnants of the great black stone walls of Valyria. So even with just insignificant, 4 level plus 4. Or level 16, the great black stones of Valyria. And then we also have one of the 14 flames. Tartaryx. Though not as high as Razalhar, Tartaryx is a slimmer but deeper volcano. Older, wow, alright. Just stress, danger, holding taxes. Okay, so with that, let's take a look at our actual surroundings. So what do we got here? What runes are these? Gozai and Udas and Elos. And you know what? Let's take a look. It's been a bit. Relations, terrain, economy, and buildings. Okay, so obviously we have the Black Stones, Grand Temple, one of the 14 Flames, Ruined Fortress of Red Worm's Wrath, and one of the 14 Flames as well. Okay. Grand Temple and Oros, Great Castle, Veilspire Peak. Charted Depths, huh? Lyria is still going strong, so there's something there. Dragon Palace of Valyria. An old ruined resort. Needs to be built before we can look at it, I guess. Yeah. Alright, everything to do with Volantis. Volantis Harbor. Temple of the Lord of Light, the Black Walls, the Long Bridge. The Long Bridge just seems... I don't know what it is about it, but it just kind of gets my attention. Like, it's a long bridge where people, houses, markets, you know, go. And I can just imagine just traveling on this alone would be an adventure. Alright, what else next? Temples, Grand Temples. Monument of the Battle of the Borderland. Cannot construct this building, obviously, but still. The Tree of Crowns. Okay, Palace of Sorrow. Bridge of Dream. We all know what the Palace of Sorrow is. Feld of Croyane. This is where the Sorrow Lord or Sorrow, yeah, it's a Sorrow Lord, am I correct? Supposedly also where Grayscale can be run around and stone men and all that jazz. County of Gloomy Gate, Bridge of Dreams. Once reveling the Long Bridge, Volantis, the Bridge of Dream, now looms over the Rhoynar in thick fog. Once again spans through Rhoynar in its full glory. Nymerius Palace. Nysar, which was actually like the best place in CK2 Game of Thrones, in my opinion, that you could rebuild. Harrenhal always has a special place in my heart, but Nymerius Palace was my go-to second. The Dragon Queen. Interesting. We've never looked at Essos, hence why we're doing a geography lesson here before we really get started. Which I know is not the most exciting episode, but it is what it is. Sometimes, like I said, I'm a little worried about, you know, when the new DLC drops, so hopefully by the time the next episode ends, people have updated, since they're pretty quick on that. Eleanor to the Stars, Mother Mont, Nevio's Retreat, Sweetwater Font, Palace of Truth. Oh, this is all Bravos. Sea Lord Segato. Isle of the Gods. All gods and beliefs are welcome. The gods who do not have grand temples and constant worshippers find their home on the Isle. Palace of Truth. Iron Bank. Sea Lord's Palace. Arsenal of the Titan. Port of Gods. Evenfall Hall. Ruins of Sapphire Isle. Our last series where we restored Morn and became the Lord of Tarth, as it were. Walls of Seven Skulls, Griffin's Throat, Storm's End, the Aegon Fort, obviously not built, as one of the only others. Dragon Lords are here. 14 Flames, Skilled Fighter, Vermithrax, Fortune Builder. See, even a Heron Hall hasn't been built yet. Not even close. God's Road. The God's Port. Your gaze. Alright, it sounds like loud, but I don't know how loud it is for you guys. Isle of Faces. Green Spring. Worth River. Meadows. 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 Plains. Plains. Still Harrenhal, the area. Obviously one of my favorite places, and I can't wait to do a Harrenhal series at some point. High Heart, the Feld Grove. Interesting. House Finch. River Run. Warlord's Keep. Into the Kneeling Man. Mudgrave. Dead Weirwood. There we go. There's a Raven Tree. One of my favorite houses, House Blackwood. My favorite house from the Riverlands. And I've said this before in just about every episode and series for Game of Thrones, and I always like to just do random questions. So here's an oldie. What is your favorite house from each region? From each kingdom, what is your favorite house? So let me know on that one. Obviously Riverlands, like I said before, it's House Blackwood. Although there was a claim for House Justman for a while. Like if we even go, that's under the Storm King. Kingdom of the Trident, title history. There's House Teague. Actually, also House Torrance Teague was pretty interesting in my opinion, but Benedict the Just. And there's the Muds. And then the legendary Fisher Kings. And if we moved over to the Iron Islands, which the least favorite kingdom that I don't particularly care about most of the time, House Harlaw, typically my go-to. Although I will say I haven't really looked into them much, but House Goodbrother is pretty interesting. There's the Farwinds. House Lannister here with the Westerlands. I think I've always enjoyed the Marbrands of Ashmark. I don't know, maybe it was just because I kind of like the area where it was, just surrounded by mountains, and they're just right there. So they just had like their own little mini duchy kingdom. The Reach is always a difficult one. I guess it would be House Hightower as a whole, but that seems a little, you know, it's fine, but House Hightower is probably my favorite there. Dane. Look, call me basic all you want, but House Dane from Dorne. I really enjoy Starfall. especially where it is. Have you seen pictures of well, when I say pictures, there was an image that was actually put on a calendar or whatever. It was like the cover of something, and it was just someone who you know, drew a Starfall, and it actually looks really cool. So my favorite there. House the Stormlands. This is the one that I can't even decide on. I think I do like the Dondarrions. Beric is a pretty cool character. I haven't looked much into any other Stormland house. I mean, Tarths are pretty cool, I guess. The Crownlands are an interesting one since, you know, not really a kingdom, but still a bunch of good houses. Rook's Rest was a staple in our CK2 series for a while. But if I had to guess, I guess it would be probably the Darklands. Kind of like them. Other than that, no one else really draws my attention. Maybe the Macy's are the Bar Emmons. And you have your Swordfish. This gold and silver hilted bastard sword was used by later Bar Emmons. Then, obviously, you know, Dragonstone, Targaryens, obviously. I don't even like Targaryens that much, but Targaryens all the way. Oof. The Mountain and Vale, Royces. Like I said, call me basic, but I just enjoyed the Royces. Learning more about them throughout the years. If you guys look at the Wiki of Ice and Fire, it's always interesting to just do a deep dive, you know. And the North. I've always enjoyed the Dustins, even though there's really nothing in modern, you know, Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire. But the history of the Dustins I've always enjoyed, especially Barrowton. Holy buckets, I did not even notice that, huh? But Roddy the Ruin and all that, pretty cool. And also their if you go to their ancestor, the first king, like that's straight up what he's just called. He's called the first king. So yeah. And then you got, you know, wildlings. Meh. Did I miss any? I don't think I have. All right. And with that little geography lesson there, Volantis, Mir, Pentos, Bravos, Luis, Tyrosh. So, you know what? Last question there. Besides your favorite from every kingdom and region of Westeros, your favorite house, where would you want to live? You know what? That's going to be a twofold question. And that's not even just straight up in Westeros. If you could live anywhere, where would you want to live? Wait till they add a Shy. You think that's what the next, for the China expansion and all that, they'll add like more of Essos? Or are they just going to focus more on Westeros? I can't remember if they've actually stated anything, but... Alright. With that, I hope, like I said, you guys at least semi-enjoyed this episode. If not, it's fine. Leave any other comments and stuff down below. And leave a like if you like, leave a dislike if you dislike, but tell me why, and I shall see you all later.